Hi Virgo, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're sun, moon or rising sign Virgo, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they speak to you. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So your key to the week this week is the Devil card, right? If you haven't seen it yet, check out your May 2021 tarot scope because it might clarify a few things for you. Now, I think it was Taurus that got this card as well. So all the earth signs are being hit with this kind of devil card energy this week, right? And one of the things that I said to Taurus was that this week it's not enough for you to kind of just be like, oh yeah, you know what, I'd like to do this. I'm sure it would be cool. This week you have to get obsessed about whatever it is that you're trying to do. This is where you have to really dig in, right? This is where you may also need to, and this is one of the things like that I said to Virgo in the monthly for May was this month, the level of intensity or detail that you go into is not the same level of intensity and detail that other people will go into. And this month, or this week especially actually, you have to find a way to be diplomatic, but also to get what needs to be done, and also to get what you need out of someone. So if this is like you've paid for a service and you want a certain thing done a certain way, explain that and then keep hands off, right? If the finished product doesn't look like what you asked for, then you can go in and put some pointers in. But I kind of feel like this week, if you try to micromanage something, or if you try to hold to a very rigid idea, it might really bite you in the butt. That being said, this week you do need to be obsessed about what the finished result is. So maybe put in all of that detail work in the beginning will be great, so that somebody's got more to work from about what it is that the finished product looks like. I hope that makes sense. For your actions and options, you have the Four of Swords, right? So, I mean, this is great. Get obsessed about having a rest. Get obsessed about meditating, get obsessed about mindfulness, or even just stepping back. I think that's one way that this could show up. It could be as well that this week maybe you find it a little harder to get your mojo back, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes that suggests that we just really need to rest. And because it is the Four of Swords, this week one of the things that you will benefit more from is doing less, all right? So it's okay for you to read, it's okay for you to research, but not to the point where you are, really, really overexhausting or overly stimulating your sort of mental sector. For your communications and conversations, you have the Two of Swords. I have to be honest, right? This is a very intuitive card. And because it comes up, you've got the Devil card here. I will say this week your intuition could go out asking the question, 2 + 2 and come back with 9,000. It's really important that this week you try not to weave your desire with your vision, right? So whatever it is that you see and feel and intuit, you need to make sure it tallies up with what the facts are. And this is one of the reasons taking time to rest, taking time to pull yourself away, taking time to do what your own card would do, right? Which is the Hermit card. Pull back, do a little bit of analyzation, or even self-analysis or self-reflection. I think this could be really good for you this week. But like I said, it's also as well, your intuition could run amok this week. And that's not to say that you don't have one or that it doesn't work properly. We all have moments where we're too close to something to see objectively. And this week, I really want you to consider that. When it comes to communications and partnerships and collaborations and stuff, this week, I'll give you an example. You wouldn't have gone to Leonardo da Vinci and said, right, I want a painting, and then sat there and watched him paint and say, well, no, you're not doing this right, you're not doing that. Like, you wouldn't do that, right? You would go there, you would give as much detail, say what it is that you really want and need, and then you would go away and let him get on with it. This week, you might need to do that. Now, when it comes to those of you that work for somebody else, This might be hard because it's almost like you can kind of see where it's going, and it's like almost like maybe your expectations are that it's going to be worse, that, you know, for not having your input. That doesn't mean that you should sabotage the project. Okay, just putting it out there for those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves. Pay attention this week to where you are putting in maybe too much. Pay attention to where it is that maybe you're giving too much, where it is that maybe you are expecting a level of something that isn't possible to receive at this moment in time. You know, whether this is from an employee, whether it's from a client, like any number of things, but just be aware of that this week, and don't let your frustration cloud the good work that you've already done, I guess. For those of you that are retired or no longer working for any reason, this week, I think clarity comes from really observing how you feel about something, not getting involved with how you feel, not letting that color anything, but just asking yourself, okay, so this has happened, how do I feel about it? It's like separating your thoughts and your feelings from each other so that you can look at them objectively. This is something that you guys do very, very well. I think this week, though, it might be a little harder than usual. For your money and materials, you've got the World card. This is beautiful, right? It comes up here with the Four of Swords. This is interesting to me, right? Because you've got the Four of Swords right above, which almost suggests like maybe doing nothing is starting to get on your nerves. It's like, I need to be doing something. I need to feel like I'm of use. This week it kind of suggests as well that the easiest way to make money is to let it come to you. This could very well be a good, powerful week for manifesting. It's going to be a very powerful week for that in general, to be fair. Where your thoughts are is what you're going to be drawing more of to you. It is the World card as well. So if you want to make more money, or you want more money or revenue, it's going to come from your community, but it's organic growth. It's not, you know, pushing and shoving things in people's faces and screaming buy, buy, buy. That's not going to help you this week. You know, it's more going to be the case of just let it come. All right. And then for your physical health and vitality, this is going to be your bones, your teeth, your physical structure, your skeleton. Look after your bones this week, especially because you've got a double hit of Saturnian / Capricornian energy. And ultimately, I mean, look at this. This is just all earth and air right now, right? So be aware of that. And then when it comes to the home and environment, it looks like some of you are either going to need a house sitter, or some of you could be having some sort of practical work done on the home. But the weird thing is, it looks like you're having a look specifically at the structure of the home. So this could be the walls. Looks like some of you might be wanting to take a wall out of the place that you live in. And for a select few of you, it looks like you're deciding to move. And when I say deciding to move, would be about going to a place that is either your hometown or your partner's hometown if you have a partner. It kind of feels like you're stepping forward in a big way, but you're stepping backward at the same time. For your love and relations, you have the Two of Wands. This is lovely, right? So you've got the Two of Wands, you've got the Two of Swords. 2 twos in the tarot represents an accord, which is like a strong, powerful bond. So you and the partner are on the same page. Your frustration and irritability might rub off on them. Theirs might rub off on you, which is why it's going to be important to do this whole detaching from how you feel to look at it objectively. The collective financial pot looks great this week. If you're in a partnership, if you're in a relationship, the pot of money that you guys are building together, it looks like it's growing really nicely. It also suggests, though, that one of you may be trying to take the lead. And that's not always a bad thing. In fact, that's kind of the natural way of things, isn't it? It should be a sliding scale, you know, and I think this week you guys are really going to get into that energy. Now, for those of you that are single, well, look, you've got the Devil card here. Someone could be interested in you, right? Someone, you know, someone possibly quite powerful, or somebody that is, you know, quite mature or wise for their age, very well established in and of themselves. But it kind of feels like they might be a bit like, oh, okay, Yeah, you're a little bit crazier than I like my crazy. Do you know what I mean? And that's because of this devil card, sort of everything has to be like this kind of energy. And if that's a part of who you are, let it be a part of who you are and be a part of your charm, rather than be like you go out for a date and you start telling them what's wrong with their outfit and how they're not using their knife and fork properly, or and I say that to out of all love, of course. Every sign has its drawbacks and whatnot, but just this week, try to curb some of your frustrations and your anxieties, or at least find a way to express them so that people know what is actually going on with you and within you. All right, with that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Take care, and I'll see you soon.